Okay, the first question was the lady who sent the question sent us a lovely, no she didn't, yes she did, a lovely photograph of her horse. And the question was, how does she introduce her new horse, who is 15, to rails on the ground, to groundwork on pole work? Now, the answer to this question is really, it depends on how inexperienced the horse is. I think this horse is quite inexperienced. So you can't start too far back with horses. It's a lot better starting really easy and then building up gradually, or quickly if they progress really quickly. But don't try to dive in halfway. Don't just think I'm going to ride him over poles if he's not seen poles. The way I would do it to start with is, hopefully you can see, we've got an H pattern set out here with poles. So we've got, if Diego moves his bum out of the way, so we've got two straightening rails and a ground rail. And all I would do to start with is I would lead my horse like here, and we just go through the poles, with the poles, let him walk over it. Diego's not particularly looking at it, but your horse may put their head down, really sniff the pole, that's great. If they're putting their head down and they're interested in the pole, don't take that as a bad sign. They're checking it out, so let them look at it, let them kick it, lick it, bite it, chew it, whatever they're going to do, because they're just investigating. So that's what I'd do to start with, is just walk him through some rails, and then I would I'd do it on both reins, and then I would lunge him or walk him at a distance. So I don't know if you can see this on the camera, but I would then walk him like this over the pole, so he's going over on his own. And I do that on both reins. And then I'll show you, I'll just pause the camera and then I'll show you something different that I do. So now we've got 3 rails with 3 meters apart between each rail. And so we can walk, trot and canter over that. We could get 3 walking strides, 2 trotting strides and 1 canter stride. And then I just get the horse so he's real happy going over that. We want the horse to be dropping his nose down, going over that, lifting his hocks and his knees, looking really positive. I'll just... Diego also thinks that's a good idea, bless him. So I hope that helps. It's such a big topic, but if you need any more help, please contact me and I'll give you some more help. So that's about introducing your new horse to poles. So the other question, one of the other questions was, how do I get my horse to be braver in traffic? This is a huge, there could be a huge long-winded answer to this, which I'm very good at giving long-winded answers. Hopefully I'll try to make it a little bit shorter. So this lady's horse is like an atomic bomb, she says, and I'm sure it is. When she rides her horse out, hacking out, and there's traffic, heavy traffic and things coming up behind the horse. Firstly, hacking out, especially if it's hacking, the horse is nervous and potentially very reactive, and there's traffic around, it is a very dangerous situation to be in. So you've got to be really careful. And I know I'm not teaching my granny to suck eggs, and I'm not being condescending, but just want you to be really careful if this is the case. So try not to think initially about you want the horse to be non-traffic shy. You want the horse to try to think about what's happening, because when they're shy of something, or traffic shy, it's the same as any spook. They become reactionary. They react against, or not against, they react to the stimulation, which is a tractor, something behind it, a car or wagon, whatever it is, and that sends them into flight mode. What we've got to try to do is try to teach them that flight mode isn't the easiest option. Relaxing is the easiest option. That sounds very difficult, and it's not difficult. It's time consuming, but it's doable for every horse. It's just having the patience and the time to be able to do it, and the technique and a bit of help to show you the way to do that. So what we would try to do to start with is get something like a bag, a plastic bag on a stick, and
generally horses are wary of that because of the noise and the shape and the feel of it. And if it's on a stick, it sort of floats around a little bit. So, and we'd use that to help the horse to show the horse how they can control that situation. For example, the bag goes towards them, they run away, and you've got them on a rope. They run on a circle, the bag stays with them, and they run round on a circle. And they'll run for a little bit, and then once they've decided that, oh, actually running away is not helping, they stop. And as soon as they stop, you take the bag away. So it's a process that we use of despooking. So despooking isn't just application of a scary thing, a scary stimulus, until the horse gets used to it. That isn't desensitizing. Desensitizing is showing the horse the scary stimulus and showing him or her how to control it. So I mean by scary stimulus, horse becomes into flight mode, horse then goes, flight mode isn't working, is there another answer, stops, turns around and looks at the bag on a stick. When they do that, you take the bag away. So the horse then starts to realise running away isn't the answer, stopping and having a look at what's scaring them to evaluate it is the answer. That's the process, that's the start of the process. There's two ways of doing that. So the first way I've just mentioned would be to put the scary stimulus towards the horse. You need to do that, and you also need to do having something scary like maybe a car that's ticking over or a tractor or something that they're scared of, and walking towards that stimulus. And then as soon as they start to show a little bit of interest or fear, we stop and we let them contemplate what's there. So it might be a long way away from it. You might be 10, 20 yards from the scary object, and as soon as you're walking towards it, the horse then goes, ooh, doesn't like it. We stop, we let the horse become calm, and then we take the horse away and then reapproach. So that's the other method of despooking. And that's just on visual things. We need to do that on touch and on sound as well. So getting your horse not scared of traffic isn't a case of putting him near or her near a lot of traffic until he comes calm. That's a dangerous way of doing it. We've got to try to get the horse to understand that the flight instinct isn't the way to go. Relaxing is the way to go. This chap here, he's a Dutch warm blood. He's very forward to ride. He wouldn't be a novice ride at all. But he's a lovely guy, and he was quite reactive when we got him. And now you can see he's almost the opposite. He's like a cob in a warm blood body. That's just because of the training we've done on him. It's just getting him to think, and it's getting the horses to think what the answers are out there that we're asking the questions, and the answers are out there. I hope that makes sense, and I hope it's not too long-winded. One of the other questions we got asked was, there's a number of questions about what we do on the yard and how often I spend on the yard, how many horses I have, and so on and so forth. And they'd also suggested a day in the life vlog, which we are in the process of doing. It's probably going to be like watching paint dry a day in my life, but I hope it is going to be of interest to you. I'll try to make it as interesting as I can. But thank you so much for the questions, and I really appreciate your interest. If anybody does need any help with any horses, whether that's ridden problems or behavioural problems or rehabilitating, please give us a call, email us, send message on Facebook, and we'll try our very best to help you. Thank you very much.